Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Acts Video Devo for today, day 9 of our Acts Odyssey. Question for you. Do you ever feel peer pressure? Do you ever get afraid to share your faith or feel overmatched by something that God's calling you to do? I do. Well, if you feel that way, you're going to love this. In Acts chapter 4, the disciples Peter and John face corrupt authorities in Jerusalem at the time. I mean, these guys were ruthless. I go into a lot more detail in the Acts Odyssey book, but bottom line is they were not afraid to kill people for crossing them. They were like the mob. But Peter and John are so courageous that even these absolutely corrupt rulers are amazed. One of my favorite verses is Acts 4:13. It says, "When they saw the courage of Peter and John and realized they were ordinary, unschooled men, they were astonished and they took note that these men had been with Jesus." I call it the Jesus effect. There is just something about spending time with Christ that changes you. It gives you confidence. And it happens to you and me too when we spend time with Him in worship, in prayer, by studying the Word. Now watch this. Then these rulers command Peter and John, "Stop preaching in the name of Jesus." And Peter's response is classic. Acts 4, starting in verse 19. He says, "Which is right in God's eyes? To listen to you or God? You be the judges. As for us, we can't help speaking about what we've seen and heard." In other words, we can't help being witnesses. Listen, in every culture, on every workplace, in every school, there are the inner circle of powerful, cool people who decide what's cool, what's not cool, what to say, what not to say, what to think, what not to think. So who are you going to listen to? God or them? You know, I want to suggest to you that when you feel the pressure to conform, you pray the prayer at the end of Acts chapter 4, starting in verse 29. They say, "Now, Lord, consider their threats and enable your servants to speak the word with great boldness." They say, "Stretch out your hand to heal and perform signs and wonders through the name of your holy servant, Jesus Christ." In other words, they say, God, empower us in the face of these threats. During my high school years, every morning I knelt by my bed and I prayed a simple prayer. I said, "God, give me wit and wisdom." I prayed for those two things every day. Give me wit and wisdom. I want to encourage you to pray for some biblical qualities every day. Now make it your own. Maybe you want to say, "God, give me courage and give me friendliness," or "God, give me focus and a sense of purpose." Make it personal, but can you pray a prayer like that? I believe that if you're asking for a biblical virtue, God will hear you and He will answer you. Well, no matter what pressure you face today, go in confidence that God is with you. Because as we've been saying, if it happened before, it can happen again.